Yes. Make sure it's on
All
speaker.
on speaker view. All right. Welcome everybody to week number 6, coffee and consistency. And welcome to May. Can you believe it? The last 6 weeks have flown by. We've accomplished so much. We've changed lots of lives. We've broken through ourselves. We've been consistent. We've won in so many areas. And I need to mute a few more people. That's also a win right there as well. So let me do that real quick. We had a great month last month. Incredible. Like most clients we've ever helped, I just feel like everyone broke through at a whole new level. And so if you're here today, open up the chat and put in the chat again where you're tuning in from, and then what was the biggest thing that you learned over these six weeks that made the biggest difference for you. Your takeaway might be someone's next thing that they need next. And then while we're doing that, I got Presidential Director Susan LaBelle. She's going to be talking later, but Dawn Chow. Dawn, are you there for my co-host today?
I sure am, Brad. Hey, what's up, everyone?
All righty.
Finish off this series. It's going to be awesome.
Perfect. All righty. And again, for all the people that are just tuning in, feel free to move it over to speaker view. We're going to do some great things here today. Grab your notepad. Let me see here. Let me jump in here. So again, we talked about the chat. Want to give a shout out real quick here as we finish up the series to all the trainers, all the integrated nationals, globals, and presidentials that poured their heart in over this last little bit. Can we drop them some love in the chat? They put in a lot of extra time because they want to see you guys win. And I feel like this is probably the best training that we've ever had. I don't know, maybe you guys agree. I feel like it was, but it was truly, truly amazing. Other cool news, Dr. A's life book came out to the coaches this week. So a quick heads up on that. You can go in and you can order it. They're going to be doing something cool on it in May 15th to kind of help us kind of start to go through it. But heads up, it's not going to be available to clients for quite a while. So you don't have to do anything different right now. We're still rocking and rolling. The Habits of Health is still the thing that changed our life, but we're going to get situated with it before we help rolling it out to our clients. Everyone cool with that? Excited about that? I'm pretty happy about that. So that's kind of a heads up. Drop me a 2 in the chat if you already ordered yours. Mine's on my way. I'm really excited for it. And then, guys, overall, I got to mute a few more people here.
Hey, Brad, really quick, just so everybody's like all on the same page. So it's not available to clients yet, but it will be. So in the meantime, we're ordering the books for people, right? I know I am. I know we are, right? Like everything's as usual as far as for clients.
Yeah, sorry if I didn't clarify that. So yeah, so like the life book's coming out later on. Like we're getting it right now to kind of go through it and get the field all situated with it. We're still doing everything the same as normal. Variety pack, Habits of Health. Sorry if I didn't clarify that as well. So because I don't know about
you. I just was like.
Yeah, I think you were texting a few more people here to get ready for today. So, all right. Other shout outs. Congratulations, you guys. Great month with 18 new executive directors, like 60 plus new senior coaches. Go ahead and brag away on yourself or anyone in the chat on anything that was huge last month. I feel like there was just massive momentum across the board. Huge breakthroughs, personal, health, in business, so many things. There were so many great things that were going on. Amanda, congratulations, first month ED. Yes, Valerie, Associate Director, so great. Gigi, yes, so awesome. We had a lot of new big thinkers and just a lot of big milestones. And what's cool is we haven't even hit the momentum mark. That's what we're going to cover today. So reminder about starting the month strong. If you guys are ready to rock, and this is for all you new coaches, make sure you got your map. Make sure you're set up for the month, ready to go today. We're not going to cover that today because it's kind of basically standard. But if you want to take on the month and really add momentum to the work you've done, because it's always the month after we do all this work that we see the biggest growth, that's what to do today. You can check out my live that I did on Monday. Drop me a 3 in the chat if that was helpful for you to launch into the month of May. Hopefully, I brought you some value on that and maybe a little bit of mindset. Susan's going to be covering a little bit more of that. But we want to set you up for success. Make sure you've got your map, 100%, your clarity, where you want to go this month, because once you know the path is set and you've made the decision, that's where the big breakthrough happens. So yes, lots of 3s in the chat. Reminder, let's see here. I think that's basically it. So what we're going to cover today is we've been having some of the top leaders share what they actually do. And I love our leaders because they do the do. They don't just talk about doing the do. So we have so many voices that we could hear from. The only downside of doing this training is that I could call on a million people. Like Michelle, I see you on right now on my screen right now. We could call on you all day long. And the glasses do look great, by the way. We could call on so many people, but we thought about today, because we've done the work, we've done the steps, and it's what you do from here and how you pour the gas on the fire and how you elevate and just stay consistent that truly makes a difference. Guys, we've learned so much, and I hope you guys give yourself a pat on the back. Like, there are so many little tweaks that you guys have adjusted because of tuning in and pouring into yourself that will make the difference of trajectory over this next season. So we thought we'd have some people come on and share some wins today that was their breakthrough at different levels that are really important. This might be a breakthrough for you in the future. They're going to share a tip on it, or it might be somewhere that you are assisting somewhere in your team with. So today we wanted to drop me a 4 in the chat if you want to hear some wins and some breakthrough things and what's helped other people break through at different levels. I'm excited for you to share. They're all pretty awesome. The only downside is I wish we could have more people share because we could go all day long with this. So without any further ado, I wanted to bring on our first win because I know we have a lot of new coaches here and a lot of new senior coaches. And like, what happens to really get the motor going? So we could have called on a bunch of people, but I wanted to call on Mallory. So she was a new coach in the last 4 months. She had about 2 clients that kind of got started. She has an amazing health journey. And something clicked for her last month. And she started, Mallory, was it 9 or 10 clients this last month, moving over to our associate director? Tell us a little bit about like that win for you and what made the difference.
Yeah, of course. So I did have 10 coaches. I don't know. Am I recording? I can't even tell if I'm like going.
You're good.
I'm good.
You're
okay,
good to go.
So I had 10. I started off with 2, and I kind of still hung on to those 2 for the first couple of months, and I didn't really know where I was going. I was having a bunch of health assessments, and I felt like I was kind of just flopping on them, and I felt like I was having a really good time talking about our personal lives, but never really get to the nitty-gritty of what we were doing. So then that's when I reached out to my mentorship between Tiffany and Sarah, and then also Brad. And I had no problem just asking questions, asking, what should I do? Why am I getting all these people coming to me, and how can I make it to where I can help them and not kind of over talk myself? And so anyways, the April Coffee and Consistencies really made, it was a game changer. Good morning. It was just plugging in and making that my priority, setting it in my calendar, putting my alarms on. And then also on top of that, I did the same thing with all my client stuff. Any daily texts, any reminders to call them, to check in on them. My calendar is completely packed full of just little reminders. So that way I don't drop the ball on anybody, because if I don't have my list, I'm not going to do it. Another thing that kind of helped was just not to feel silly asking questions. I can't tell you how many screenshots I've set of just my verbiage and being like, is this right? Am I doing it right? I don't want to feel like I am going to talk myself out of it before I even get them on the phone. So that was a big game changer. But yeah, just utilize the technology that we have, whether if you're old school and you want to use a paper calendar or, write your list or whatever. But my phone, I use the memos for all the daily texts, for all of my quick, links that I need to send people. I use my calendar. I use my alarms. I use everything I can to remind me that this is my priority now. Because beforehand, I kind of was hesitant for becoming a coach because I wanted my health to be my priority. And so I reached that 100 pounds off. I kind of leaned into my mentorship as I needed, but now I had to shift my focus on, now it's not so much just about me and my health journey. It's now I want to add people and I want to share this health journey with other people. So it was cool when it's 2 people because you can focus on it and you won't get too distracted. But when people just started coming and coming and coming, I was like, all right, guys, how do I get organized? And so leaning into the mentorship, watching those live videos, doing the Coffee and Consistency, all those little things was huge. It was big stuff that really just made a big difference. And it seems like little steps, but once they all added up, it all came together. So yeah, just, I guess, don't feel silly for asking questions or saying, help, why isn't this working? Because you guys say it's going to work. So what do I need to do to make it work? So yeah, I guess that's my little tip that I have for you guys is don't feel silly to reach out. We're all here to help. That's the main reason why we started this, is that we wanted to help people. And so don't forget that we're still here to help you along the way as well.
Mallory, I love that. Congratulations. And I don't think everyone caught that there. So down 100 pounds, you totally changed your life. Congratulations. And I love it. Like, yes, like we actually, like what we say, like your support team wants to help you, linking arms. And I loved it because you also got really good and consistent on like sharing messages, dripping on people, and like your social media. And we had celebrated so many wins this month of like, oh my gosh, this person reached out and this person reached out, and you knew what to do. There was lots of screenshots. So congratulations, Mallory. Hopefully that speaks to anyone that's newer here. You can do it. Link up with your support team. Be the next Mallory. So thanks, Mallory, for sharing today. So awesome. We're going to move over to Sarah Graves. So another win that people I heard over and over again this month was wins in their health assessment elevating and feeling like the pre-work and the focus and the setup was a big deal, game changer. And actually feel free to give Ashley Miller some love. Drop what do we have to do, a 5 in the chat if you feel your health assessment elevated this last little bit. So we could have asked a bunch of people to share on this, but I wanted to bring Sarah Graves on. Sarah, you started 9 clients this month, and you've been running a really good business for a long time. This isn't anything new for you, but you felt like you added something this month that really changed the game. So want to share that win. That was a win of yours. So if you want to share a little bit about that and a tip that you have for everyone here.
All right, good morning, guys. Before I jump in, I just want to say congrats to Mallory, too. I've actually had the pleasure of getting to work with her, too, so it's been a blast seeing her journey and seeing her grow, but I see you up there. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to talk about health assessments, and that's been a big shift for me over the last month, and it sounds kind of funny, like coming from somebody that's been coaching for about 3 years now, but it just shows like you can never stop growing and getting better at like the simple things that we do every single day. But I do have to say, like, Ashley's training like changed pretty much everything for me. I've never necessarily been bad at health assessments, but I knew that I was missing a couple key components of just really diving into like my clients' why and just helping them move forward with that. So I got really good at asking questions. So yeah, if you are on a health assessment and you know that that client is not sharing everything with you or not digging deep into like their why, keep asking questions. Some of the questions I wrote down are like, tell me more about that. How would that make you feel? How would your life change? Things like that. I got really comfortable with silence. I know it sounds kind of funny, but if anybody, I'm sure everybody on this call has done this, but I get in a tendency of thinking about what question I'm going to ask next instead of slowing down and actually listening to the client talk. So that was huge for me. I actually slowed down, listened to what they were saying, and then figured out what question I need to ask them next before even moving on to the next part of the health assessment. So that was huge for me. And then what else here? Oh, and then really like figuring out what it is that you want out of the health assessment. So everything begins with the health assessment. So I really wanted to make it clear like what our other components were, not making a huge deal out of the food because that's just such a small component of our program. So really layering coaching, bringing that up during the health assessment, and then all of our other components. And then telling them what the communication looks like so they're very clear on that. And then just sending them a really bold invite, just saying like, are you ready to get started? Those things combined have literally like changed my health assessments. I've done a 180. I started 9 clients last month. I probably did 10 health assessments personally. And like they pretty much all ended up with a client getting started. So yeah, it was huge for me. So if I have like one tip to take away, it would be if you feel, and you can tell, if you feel like you don't have, like haven't got that why out of the person that you're talking to, keep asking questions because it will come out. So that's my biggest tip.
So good, Sarah. Thank you for sharing that. Like I actually always picture Susan LaBelle talking after I invite them to get started, like the duct tape over my mouth, like she talks about. So good asking questions. Actually, one more tip here. Like, what would you say if, like, again, we could watch Ashley's training, but like, what's the one thing you're so good at having a conversation during that health assessment? The health assessment is just one big conversation for you. What would be your biggest tip if you're like, besides asking questions, that would be like, if I really wanted to rock a health assessment, what's the biggest thing you would share with people here?
Honestly, just staying confident. Like we know what the program's done for us and we know what the program has done for other people. It's like, why, like go into the health assessment just assuming that this is going to work for them and that it's like going to be a good thing for them because we all know that. So why would we be scared to ask them if they're ready to get started? That would, I guess, be my biggest tip. But
that's a huge tip right there. I think that was the reason I meant that, back to asking other questions. That's why I needed to ask another question. I do think we need to go in knowing that. Such good tips. Thank you, Sarah, and congratulations. All right, moving. Actually, we're just staying in the Northwest apparently this morning. I'm going to go to Shirley. Shirley, are you there?
I am here.
All righty. So we couldn't figure out who we want to talk on this topic, but and of course we were like, oh, Shirley's got to speak. But we were good. We had so many new executive directors that could have spoke, kind of talking about like some wins from doing the steps and that elevated the tempo. You were like well over big thinkers this month, but there was a spark that was something different. Would you share like the biggest win for you this month? The people that are like, yeah, I want some more wins like in that department. What do you got for us today, Cheryl?
Absolutely. I would love to share. And thank you for having me today. Okay, so the biggest win for me is, and I've heard this so many times, you guys, like make a decision, make a decision, make a decision. And that finally had that 1 degree of shift in my head. Make a decision. And I made a decision. And, I show up to all the trainings. I listen to all the lives, or I listen to the recordings. I read so many books, but I wasn't fully showing up until I made that decision. And that allowed me to be in a place of true desire of service for others. And it allowed me that was the magic. That was the magic for me, magic bullet, right? Like, wow, I've always wanted this, but I hadn't made a decision yet. I thought I was. So that was the biggest shift for me, Brad. But really also it's like success leaves clues, right? I've heard that too so many times. Like, what are the fibbles, our mentors, our leadership doing? They're having many conversations. And I looked at how many conversations I was having previous to April, and I wasn't having many, or I was, but it wasn't leading to health assessments because I wasn't making it a priority because I hadn't made a decision yet. So I stayed consistent. I worked with my mentors, and I followed the systems. And like Brad said, this has been the best training we've had so far. Drop me a 6 on the chat if you agree. Right? Like, it has been amazing, you guys. Yes. And I actually want to I took away a lot of good tips from Susan LaBelle from the last series and Ashley Miller. So thank you, ladies, because you helped me elevate my health assessments. And Susan said something last series that really stuck with me, and I've used that every time I've done a health assessment. I get nervous when I get on the phone with other people, and so I just hear Susan LaBelle saying, I've got the goods, I can help them. And every time I get on the phone, I just stay present, you guys, and I bring the goods with me. I already know I have the goods, but it allows me to, thank you, Ashley Miller, for this. It allows me to step into their world, take a pause when you ask a question, and really we've all been there. We've all been in a place of hurt. And if we can step into their world and really understand that hurt, we're able to serve them best. So thank you for that, Ashley. And then let's see, what else? Gosh, consistency and doing a lot of assessments, and I probably did a ton. And then I showed up super intentional with the 3, 3, and 3. I was probably doing 10, 10, and 10, right? And I showed up on social media and I showed up in person the way I want that person to always think of me, right? Like, when they are finally ready to have that breakthrough in their life, who are they going to think of? I want to be that person. So I was super intentional about my posts. I was intentional about my conversations, and I wasn't always 3 or 10 on the friend request, but because I was creating many conversations, it was leading up to the many friend requests. Let's see, what else? This is a big one for me, you guys. Time blocking. That was a huge shift for me because it allowed me to clear the clutter in my head and in my space. I worked on my binder. Like, I had health assessments everywhere. And I'm like, I need to just clear the clutter. And as soon as I did that, it helped me be in a space of creation. It helped me shift from, I have to do this, to I want to, I get to, I choose to do these. And yeah, so let's see, what else? Having fun. I think like having fun again with my support, with my client support, and really showing up for them in a different space that elevated my business, that elevated the way I coached, that elevated the way I showed up for everybody.
Oh my gosh, Shirley, mic drop. I was writing notes. You brought the goods. Thank you so much for sharing all those amazing things. And guys, I don't know about you, but I feel like she was speaking to so many of us, right? But like you were here, you were present, but it was making the decision. And from that decision came the consistency, came the action, came the fun, came the loving on people. And yeah, congratulations, Shirley. Thank you. That was amazing. All right, guys, moving on to our next win. Excited to bring on this couple, Tanya and Sam Serino. So what they're going to be sharing about this win, you guys, is about the mind shift in sponsoring. And I just have to give a big shout out to them. I am not going to steal their thunder because they've got some goods to bring as well. Love that, Shirley, that you're like Susan LaBelle said, you've got the goods, and we do. Really huge mind shift, bringing on coaches. And you know what, Tanya, I just kind of want to turn you and Sam loose to share a few of your wins and kind of some of your key things over this last season that have really made the shift for you guys. Because I mean, could have had a lot of people share, but I mean, really, you guys, massive shift in always bringing on tons of clients. But I mean, this last season, you are seeing people come on as coaches left and right, and it's because you're doing the do.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot we're not muted. Yeah, and exactly what Shirley was saying, like success leaves clues, like they always say, and actually like everything that Shirley said, I hope everyone wrote it down, because when you start actually listening to the trainings, writing it down, and then taking action, that's when it all, like, that's what it's there for. And so I've been doing that, and I'm not an organized person. And once I started like actually doing what everyone says to do and taking the advice from amazing leaders on here, like I think it was last month, Susan LaBelle was talking about the fifth component, like coaching is the fifth component. And for me, I was like, oh my gosh, it really is the fifth component. and it has been for my life and, you know, our life together. And I've seen it now, like on coaches on our team, like how it's transforming their life, like not just the health journey, the coaching journey, and just this community. I mean, the coaching community is even, you know, just as amazing as the health one. So, I mean, really just believing that and being bold with it and really believing that that is the best thing for our clients, because it is. And so like, even I've also been just, you know, right away before even a client starts, I've been like taking 5 seconds within my little 20-second story in the health assessment of my own health journey. I've been just, you know, letting them know, like, yeah. And then I became a coach 2 weeks in, and I started helping friends and family. And then some, you know, and it just kind of leaves that door open, like, oh, you can do that. Or, you know, oh, let's do this. And just, you know, really being not being afraid to talk about referrals, like not like being really bold right away that, hey, people are going to be noticing, because like Shirley just said, like it is going to happen. Like people are going to notice, you are going to feel amazing. And so right away, I let them know, hey, if people start asking, link them up with me in a Facebook thread, or give them my contact info, and I give referral credits. And then, you know, I continue to layer in coaching, and it just kind of becomes natural, because as they're living out loud, you know, I'm encouraging them to live out loud because it's for their benefit. And like they were saying, like they always say to run a high frontline volume, like try to do that. So I've been doing that, and I have seen the difference in the clients who do live out loud and do build their own community and bring in their friends and family. They do so much better. So it's really for their benefit. It's not, I mean, it's for them. So, yeah, if I have a couple tips, like, don't be afraid to be bold. Don't just say it right off the bat. Let them know that you give referrals. Let them know that, that like coaching can be for them. Like if you really believe in them, and see it before they see it, like sometimes it takes a couple months. Like don't get discouraged if the first time you bring it up, they're like, no, that's not for me. Like, if you see it, keep awakening that. Like, in any little glimpse that you can, any little like silver lining or whatever, let them know how amazing they would be and be able to transform their friends and family around them. And so, yeah, just being bold. And also, one other thing that changed dramatically was the whiteboard that has been sitting in just my living room for 3 months. I finally put it up. I put people's names on it. I put everybody who's on my heart on there, and I put it in my kitchen. Okay, so I can always see it. Like, we can always see it. We're the type that if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Like, we're not going to remember. We're not going to even think of that person. We have to see it. So that's what that really also changed a lot. So write it down so you can always see it and put it in your kitchen.
Yeah, the whiteboard is awesome, especially for me because I work full time. And when I come home, I could just jump right in and see like what she's been doing, what's going on. I can kind of just track like right along where she's at, and it doesn't let me skip a beat at all. I can come home, jump right back in to where she left off, kind of thing, tag team in and out. I think one of the biggest tips for me, especially coming back after the cruise, is like we set up I don't know, like a year plan for us of where we want to be and where we see ourselves and stuff like that. So just living out loud, I shifted my focus from like keeping my job and like Optavia and my family, all 3 separate components. And I started like living out loud and putting it all together and just sharing with everyone. And what that did was like, it just awakened other people. Some of my old friends, they're like, what are you doing? I see you eating those little snacks or whatever. And then it just like opened a whole nother door for me to be able to explain coaching. And that's actually how I brought on one of my newest coaches just this month. So living out loud, that's huge. Share and care.
Louder than that.
I love it, you guys. Holy smokes. All right.
Yeah. I wanted to say one last thing too. Sorry, Don.
No, please.
I think one thing that a lot of people do is that, like, I don't know if you hit on this or not, but like prejudging. Like you get someone and they're a client, and then you kind of prejudge them. I think we kind of just like sprinkle it in from the beginning, like, hey, this is what coaching has done for us. This is where we were a year ago. This is where we're at now, and you can do it too. There's nothing. If I can do it, you can do it, and you know.
Yes. And then also living out coaching out loud. Like we just live it so out loud that like when people come on, they already know that we are a team. They already know that like we care for our clients and we care for the people on our team. So it's kind of just like, hey, I want in on that. Like I want that community. I want that support. And I know that you guys will take care of me, like help me, you know? So that's also, I feel like that's, all of it.
And then kind of like what Shirley said, just showing up. So like prior to going on the cruise and like meeting everyone and getting that face-to-face time with, you know, all these great individuals, I wasn't fully showing up to the training. Yeah, it was on. I was listening to it. I was tuning in when I could, but like showing up full time. So I kind of went from like being a bench warmer to being one of the starting 5, you know, on the team, more or less, I guess, right?
Yep.
I love that, you guys. Seriously, so many amazing tips in there, nuggets. Like you can just feel how it's shifted for you guys. Like you guys have been really great all along at sharing the health transformation, the health journey. I mean, anyone who's followed Tanya on Instagram or Facebook, and Sam too. But you guys, what you said about integrating it into your life, that is what I have seen be the shift. And because you guys are doing that and showing up, like I love that, Sam, coming into like starting 5, putting in the kitchen. So many good things, you guys. I love that. And it's that little shift that people can sense and tell. And also you guys are doing awesome integration calls with your team. Just want to say like, great job following the steps and just showing up and doing the things. Because as you do that, you've laid that foundation. And one thing that I just want to say here, you guys, the biggest thing about coaching is that the coaches are most successful and they come on when they see all of these things ahead of time, right? When they see how these guys pour into their clients, they see how they live out loud, they see how they support their coaches. They've built this community. People do want to be a part of that. And you'll see that your clients transition seamlessly into successful coaches when all the things we're talking about on this Coffee and Consistency series kind of fall into place. So thank you guys so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, ready? You're of course. Okay, ready for our last win? I'm so excited to bring on Andrea Simpson. So our next win is really, you guys, all about working with teams. And I just want to give a shout out to Andrea, which Tanya and Sam and Lynette, like so many people are on the team. We could have, again, brought a lot of people on to talk about this, but I want to say, Andrea, you can just feel the excitement from her, you guys. I'm so excited for her to hop on and share with you. Not only has she in the last year learned how to pause, get organized for herself and her own life and her own integration, but to slow down and ask people questions and invite them and awaken them and to dive in with her team. So I'm not going to steal any of her thunder. Andrea, I would love for you to come on because not only have you gone from an, integrated national to like solid integrated national in the last year, but you are raising up integrated nationals and soon to be globals on your team. And that's what it's about. It's as we love on our team, as we love on the people in our world and we care about their wins and their victories as much as our own, in fact, maybe even more, that's when we in fact win and when everyone around us wins. So Andrea, take it away, my dear. What are some of the things, just a tip or two about how things have shifted for you over this last season?
First off, you guys, this is amazing. Everybody, you guys just brought it this morning. So I'm excited to just share some things. I have several really good tips, but I also want to talk about a few other things. So I've had some major breakthrough the last few months, and thanks to my awesome support team, Don and Brad, they've really helped me break through some things. Susan LaBelle, you said something a few months ago. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of what you're resisting most. That struck a chord with me. Oh my gosh. So when you hit an internal resistance, we all have them. One of mine is speaking in public scares me half to death. But you know what? The only way you get better at it is to do it more. So when you hit that internal resistance, instead of running from it, which is the natural human reaction, instead run into it. Remember, the obstacle is the way. And seriously, you guys, lean into your support team, pray about it, meditate on it, and find out what the root cause is. What is it that's truly causing you to put up that wall of resistance? Get comfortable being uncomfortable until you find until you break through that resistance. Because it's usually a concept, a mindset, a lack of a skill set, or
Oops, did we lose her?
No, Andrea somehow got muted. Andrea, hang on. We got muted.
No.
No, it's okay. Just rewind like 5 seconds.
Okay. So, did you hear what I said about Susan LaBelle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So everything that you are, I'll go back. Everything that you've ever wanted is on the other side of resistance. So that internal resistance that we all have, and it's in different areas of our life, and we're going to experience this the whole entire time we're growing. But instead of running away from that resistance, run into it. The obstacle's away. We all know that. And so by diving in with your support team, praying about it, meditating on it, finding out what that root cause of that resistance is, and then getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Someone else said that today too. Until you find the breakthrough in that resistance. So usually what that resistance is a concept, a mindset, a lack of a skill set, or lack of confidence. Once you experience this breakthrough and you start feeling your confidence in that, it's an amazing tool to help your coaches and clients have that same breakthrough. Theirs is going to be different because everyone has different concepts and they have their own resistance. Recently, my biggest thing that I've had breakthrough in is structure. I'm more of a free bird. I fly by the seat of my pants. But you know what, you guys? That's no longer serving me. It's not serving my team either. So I knew it was something that I had to break through. So I made the choice to really dive in with Brad and Dawn and dig deep and let the conscious leader within emerge in myself. Always remember to stay in your own lane. Don't get into comparative reality. You do you. So where someone else shines and their natural talent comes through, awesome. You have your own beauty within there, just waiting to come through. So Allison Petty, you have so inspired me over the past year, just watching you really dive in with your team. So quite honestly, I took your lead, really dove in with Dawn on this. I have a lot of people in my organization that are raising their hand. They are excited to grow, to learn, to transform a whole lot of lives, including their own. So what we did was started a small group thread. And what that looks like is, and I named it, Growing Blended Executive Director, because obviously we know when you're blended, that's a strong, solid business. And so what we do is for those people, and it's growing like daily, of people that are wanting to grow for Blended Executive Director this month. What do? We jump into structure. We have fun, first off. And one thing I have to say with the people that are raising your hand, know their why. Get to know them. Let their why become your why for them. Contend for them. Fight for them. Remind them of it and celebrate every single victory along the way. So this small group, we are having a blast. They have the heart and the determination to grow. And so we jump in, do power hours. We work together. We roll up our sleeves. We pour into people. It's massive skill set transfer. So there's all sorts of people, on this call, these power hours, and we have fun. Follow up, client support, all of it. Just rolling up our sleeves and working together. So with each win that everyone has, that's what I love, is celebrating that win with them and inviting them to explore what the next steps are to the path of creating the life of their dreams, what their desires are, and creating the life that they want. So this group, I have to say, you guys, this month, 4 executive directors out of this group, 2 integrated nationals in the past month. 4 people in this group are teed up to be global this month, you guys. Pouring into your team, seriously, that's where the gold's at. We have the highest frontline or highest group volume ever, brought on the most coaches that are in action, and had the most clients come on. So honestly, the few tips I'll leave with you guys is run into what you're resisting most, because your breakthrough is on the other side of that thing. Dive in with your support team. Really get real. Get serious with it if you're wanting breakthrough. Get comfortable being uncomfortable until you have that breakthrough. Roll up your sleeves and pour into those who are raising their hand and really, truly want to grow in this season. You guys, seriously, working with your team is where the gold's at. So
love it, Andrea's so good. The chat's blowing up, and I just love everything you shared there. On the other side of structure, I think everyone can relate. Hello, I can relate to that one too. Fighting for what people want, asking the questions, really linking arms with your support team. I think you said also nailing the times that are really important to connect, that we kind of go over, like they are the difference maker, and then helping your team get these wins as well. I do want to put a disclaimer out there. You don't need to start a thread for it to be the magic. The magic was in the people making the decision and linking arms. So I just want, like, Andrea, you looked for what people wanted, you linked arms, and you got in and you did the work with them. So I just want to say congratulations. You asked lots of questions to find out what they want. It's like the health coach version of the client version. So good. The whole chat's blowing up. And we could go on this all day, you guys. Hopefully drop me what are we on? 7 in the chat if this morning has been helpful for you. What's cool is, like, you guys have done the work. That's why we're kicking off May with these tips. We could have so many people share, and there's so many wins across the board, but you guys have done the do. You guys know what to do, and we want to highlight the wins that help other people break through. I think that rhymed, but I'm not really sure. Anyways, you guys have done the work, so let's hop into it today. And I love that what we shared here is because you guys all have greatness inside you. I'm so thankful for what Andrea just shared there. So we're going to keep it short today. We got 2 things that are going to help you kick off your month strong. So I'm going to kick it over to Susan LaBelle, and she's going to help you kind of hit on a few things that will help you launch into May on fire and take it to the next level. So Susan LaBelle, Presidential Director, over to you.
Hey, so good. Like, we've got some serious talent here, and I hope you all have that magic, that spark, and I would love to hear all the takeaways from everybody. But yeah, I think the energy I want to convey to you guys today is that keep doing what you're doing. Like, you don't need a coffee and consistency to stay in action. It's nice, right? But like, find what's really going to fuel your fire, stay plugged in, and just stay consistent over this next season. Like, nothing magical happens in just a month. All the people you're hearing, the wins, it's like a report card of their last semester, right? So it's never like, if you're just starting like in the last few weeks and you don't feel, hey guys, like, just check your grades next semester, it's gonna look pretty darn good. So stay like consistent. I saw such intensity, urgency, creativity, energy emerge at the end of the month. And here's when I know it's in all of you. It's in every single one of you. And if you could tap into that today, not wait till the end of the month to like be like, oh, I'm going to go do that one extra thing. I'm going to kick fear, like sidekick fear in the face. So, I'm going to wait till the last couple days of the month. Like, decide today, like, today's your day to like go all in and be authentically you and like share our gift to the world. And if you can stay consistent with that, and I think if anything, give you the confidence, you guys, that you have the context of how to set up your schedule well. You have like the MAP training from the first, like if that is still a tool you're looking to learn how to plug into that, go learn and set up your month with intention. There's beauty and purpose behind that. Go the extra intention of like really being like, I call everything, I want to like speak to everything everyone shared this morning, but like, Tanya and Sam, like their social media is like killer, right? And they layer everything that they layer health coach life so well. Like, I just want to be part of like, hey, like, can I get a transfer? No, just joking. Just joking. But the point is like, they make it look really fun. So what I want to encourage you guys is, as a goal, what we do, it's not what we do month to month, it's what we're creating long term. And like setting a goal to 5 in 1 year business. And what I mean by that is helping 5 new people on their path to health. And naturally, one of those, if not more, are going to want to join our mission to like coach their friends and family. So even with that is a very doable pace for anyone to fit into their schedule. I strongly believe that. I mean, you can do that around a full-time schedule with kids and everything. And just with that sort of intention, over like month after month, here's what I feel like 9 years into this, I kind of know the numbers a little bit of just what plays out. And if you stay consistent with that, I, just heard Andrea's like, testimony, if that's what we want to call it, like, amen, girl, is like, that alone, you will most likely have an integrated national business. I mean, it's just like, you'll have 12 coaches on your team. We know where the numbers fall. We know who kind of plugs in and integrates from there. And I don't have to break it down for you. You just have to kind of trust the process and trust the people that have paved the path before you. And so sometimes we have these big goals, but it's really about like, let's just stay intentional on what we're doing this month. Do it again next month. Do it again next month. Consistency will bring you everything you want. And so really setting that goal to grow 1 or 2 points each month. So I had a PowerPoint, I scratched my PowerPoint. I was like, I just want to talk to people today. But we all know there's 4 like quadrants or 4 quadrants. There's 4 skill sets that we do. Like, our business is really that simple. We, develop and support clients, and we develop and we support coaches. That's it. Like, and we're doing a lot of stuff outside of that, and we're not actually really focusing on the 4 things that move the dial in our business. We want to I want to help bring clarity there. So, good thing to kind of evaluate is every day, are you doing something to touch one of those 4 quadrants, if not all 4 of those quadrants? So if you're finding yourself doing a lot of busy work, but not being like, I want to help bring you back to productive like skills, like things to be doing. And so like from a client acquisition, obviously people starting the most conversations, okay, like we're going to see increase in that area. Like, they're going to be bringing on the most clients and coaches. They're just starting the most conversations. They're getting out of their own way. Everything Dawn talked about last week about inviting to coaching those people. So that every day you could look at it and say, what did I do today to develop a new client? Did I invite anyone to a health assessment? Did I invite anyone to explore coaching? Like, if you do a gut check every week and you didn't do any of those things, I mean, I'm just gonna be really real with y'all. Like, you're probably doing a lot of work, but not the like the 1 degree difference that's like from the people you just heard share what they're doing, and they're willing to get out of their own way and be bold. Okay. So then there's the support of clients and the support of coaches. And that's everything you guys just heard. Like, we've spent this whole series training on how to support our coaches well, right? And how to really integrate them with integration calls. And so it's like, are we doing those on the daily, and like, it's just a gut check, anyways, so I'm gonna move past that because I want to move into social media. I've only got a few minutes here. You guys, how cool is it that we have a business that we get to grow online and we can work from anywhere? Like, it's pretty darn amazing. And I never want to take away from the fact that I love being out in community and people, and eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly is kind of what I call it. It's kind of weird, but social is where the people are. And so if we're not using it, like, why wouldn't we, right? It's free. It's a free platform. It's a way for us to share what we do in such a beautiful way. So you guys are all doing the 3, 3, and 3. So I want to give you a couple things that can keep it really fresh and fun this season, because it's all about continuing to share what we do. So first is, I think if like your post, so we do, the goal would be 3 posts a day, but I would go for quality over quantity. If you're just getting it done to get a checkbox, I would rather you do 1 high quality post than like 3 posts just to get it done. But a lot of times what I find is quality, and then I have something with my kids, and I have enough things I'm wanting to share that 3 is a very doable goal. But I don't think that just increasing, you don't want to 10x necessarily post. You don't need to put 15 posts out there. So that would be my encouragement on posting, but add value. And the questions I would ask yourself but right before you post, just put a little social awareness in there. 1, does it sound like me? Does it sound like me? Is it something I would say? Because I know we're all like, I appreciate all the shout outs on this call, but y'all, I just like listen to podcasts and borrow stuff from people. So I'm not all that, it's not like, does that make sense? And I get inspired, but I'm putting it out through my own words of how it resonated with me. And so does it sound like you? And then 2, does it add value to somebody? Is it going to inspire, motivate, or educate them? And if the answer is no, maybe it's just not a high value post. That's okay. Like, how can you add value through that post? Could you ask a question? Could you encourage an action? Could you inspire them to do more? So those would be my thing with posting. Does it add value, and does it sound like you? If it does, go for it. And then with conversations, I am finding the people that are like killing it are just starting the most conversations. Like, shout out Tim and Kelly, conversations the win, no agenda, guys. Just like, I genuinely now get on Facebook and Instagram to be like, hey, what conversation can I start? That's like, just like, what's happening here that I can like ask a question, because it's all about just like, hey, where are you at? Or where was that at? Hey, was that food good? Did it taste good? You know what I mean? Like, you like your Instapot? Like, what's your favorite recipe? Do you guys see what I'm kind of like going with? It's just, I start a conversation, and how a really secret special way that is working really well, it's just super fun, is how many of you guys have seen like stories? And if put like give me a, I don't know what we're up to. I don't know, 9? I don't know. Give me a 9 in the chat if you're like, I don't get stories. Like, I have no idea. Like, I'm like, I don't get it. It doesn't have, let me see. I don't want to confuse, here's the thing, guys, just keep doing what you're doing. But I want it, like, for those of you, I love it. It's like, some people are like, I don't get it. But if you click on someone's profile, you can see their story, and it's kind of a live action. I encourage you guys, play around with it. Like, they're only there for 24 hours, and it's kind of cool. It's like the behind the scenes look of like what it looks like to be a health coach. You can tell the story of your day as a health coach. We do something every day in our business, and we should be showing that to people, because that's what's so attractive about what we do. But here's some magic sauce. If you comment on someone's story, like if you just comment, like it, heart it, it goes right to their messenger. Conversation started, like, it's like my favorite. And the first time I did it, I was like, oh no, like, how'd that go to messenger? What did I do wrong? And then I realized, wait a minute, the person responded, because I was like, it was, they were doing something in Portland. I'm like, where is that at? And then they responded in Messenger, and I was like, how'd that get to Messenger? And then I realized, oh my gosh, this is like genius. Like, Facebook is like giving us a little silver platter of like starting conversations. So I encourage you guys to go to people's stories today and just comment. And then on your own story, if you want to play around with it, ask some questions, like start engagement. It's really quite fun. Okay, so show your health coach life. That's what I got for you. I know we're finished up the hour. I want to pass it over to Dawn, but I want to Andrea, you brought up everything you want is on what is on the other excited, what resisting. I've been talking a lot about action through this coffee consistency, and it's like what you're not doing, you know. Getting in the way. And because I'm talking about social, which social is about ourselves and putting ourselves out there, like our own personal brand, right? It's a little bit of fear, but you guys, it's not who you think you are that holds you back. So here's another thing for you. It's who you think you're not. Okay. So it's not like who you think you are being, it's like who you think you aren't that's holding you back from posting something. You're like, but I'm not, like, I don't do it like so-and-so. Who cares? Like, if you're you, people can sense it's you. And that's what's authentic. That's what drives people to you. And so with that, we've got an awesome beginning. Like, we just keep giving the gifts. I love it, right? We've got like something in store for you this week. You guys think we're done, but we got Encore going on Tuesday night. So I'm going to pass it to Dawn to talk about what's next and how we can best utilize it. So Dawn, are you there?
I love it. Boom, Susan. So you guys are so excited to like take all your goods and go do you, right? Like consistently this month and next month. And Susan, seriously, got me all fired up. You guys, like she might have just alluded to, we have an encore coming up and we're not done giving you some really fun things. We are going to chat just for a couple minutes now about coaching, a little bit of sponsoring, how to invite to something really exciting that's happening Tuesday night. Drum roll, we are going to do a rewards of coaching call for you guys. We're going to give you something to invite to, something to really have fun with over the next couple of days. Talk about it with your clients. I'm going to chat a little bit about what it is and then who to invite to it and a little bit of how to invite to it. So Brad, you want to share that slide so we can get them the details? You guys are ready for the details on this? I can just tell. Oh, lots of heads going. Yeah. All right. So, okay. And you guys, just before I hop onto that slide that gives you the details, you guys have done the work. You guys, we are all living out loud, planting. This is a season for like sowing those seeds. Those are the relationships. Those are the conversations like Susan was just sharing. And then you're really planting them. You are layering, you are awakening, you are speaking truth over people. You are providing such excellent client support and living so out loud that people see naturally what the next step is for them. And then you are watering, you are caring for those relationships, you are sticking with people. Like, I just want to say what Tanya said about don't be, sad if they say no, not yet, or or whatever. When you first bring up coaching to them, keep speaking truth, keep building on that relationship, keep awakening, keep loving on them. And so we're doing all of that. And now it's time to really invite, because you have the people who are successful. They have the people in their world who are noticing, because you guys are supporting your clients well. You're living out loud, and they have a whole community, a whole, everyone around them is noticing, unless they live in a cave, which I highly doubt any of your clients literally live in a cave. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about inviting, and we're going to tell you what we've got coming up next that you can invite to. So Brad, how about the next slide? Okay, you guys, Rewards of Coaching call is going to be happening this next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. We're going to do matching $25 scholarships till Friday. How awesome is that? Now these scholarships are going to be available for all new coaches, clients, and past clients who are getting restarted if it's been a year or more. So you guys cast a really wide net and love on a lot of people over these next couple of days, because these calls are, talk about bringing the goods. You actually get to invite them to hear a little bit about that culture of us as a community of coaches, right? Y'all know all of our clients know we've got an amazing client community. How about inviting them to hear a little more about our amazing coaching community and our culture? How about inviting people who you just want them to know why you love what you do so much, right? Friends, family who are your cheerleaders, your supporters, like people who've cheered you on since you were in grade school. They're kind of wondering like why you love what you do so much. So anyways, this call is coming up. We're going to have a flyer posted later today. We're going to set up a Facebook event for you guys to start inviting people to, and we're going to live it in that page. And don't worry, we did double check the room that we won't max out this time, right, Brad? And we're going to put a link to the Google document so you can fill out the form for the scholarships. So that will be all easy peasy. And anyone who watches this or watches it live or watches the recording, okay? So that's what's happening Tuesday. And then, yeah, it gets better. We're going to, on Wednesday, do a live right here in the Coffee and Consistency page, walking you guys through the next steps of starting a coach strong. How awesome will that be? We're doing it with you guys. We are going to link arms with you and do it side by side with you. So like Andrea said, everything you want's on the other side of that resistance. Maybe it's on the other side of that fear. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do if they say yes. We got you. We're going to walk you through it. And then on Saturday, oh yeah, keeps getting better. We're going to do a new coach kickoff for you with you. We're going to do a starting point. We are going to gather all those new coaches up, everyone who's been a new coach in the last 30, 60 days, and we're going to help them get started. And all your new coaches from this call, we are going to walk through that piece with you step by step. How awesome is that? All right, Brad, anything you want to add for that until I go into the who to invite and a little bit of how to invite and then wrap it up?
Nope, I think this is good. The chat's blowing up. Everyone's excited. I think we're ready for this. I'm so excited for us to share some stories about the rewards of coaching and drip this next level and invite a bunch of people to join this next step. I love it.
Awesome. All right, Brad. Well, let's take the screen sharing down. I want you guys to do an exercise because I heard through the grapevine the exercise last week you guys loved. And so I want to leave you with some tangible tips because we're all around how to do that, doing it together. So I want you to grab a piece of paper, grab your phone, grab your notes, whatever, and a pen, and literally write down. So I'm going to walk you through who to invite to this call. Okay. And so you grab your map out because guess what? They're probably on your map. And some people that you're going to invite to this call aren't even on your map. Maybe they're in your world and they're just watching you do you live out loud, and they are curious and they are interested and they want to know more about this amazing community that you are a part of. So I want you to write down who you're going to invite, and I want you to keep a list. All right. So I love that. I love that Tanya and Sam shared that whiteboard, that list. That makes the difference. You do not want these people to fall off your radar. You care about them, and you know the transformation that this can bring in their lives. So start a list, and you can start it right now, today, and you can keep adding to it. And it's going to be all of the people like we just talked about. So all your current clients who you want to surround with more support. This is a community event, guys. It is just like a health and hope call, except it is a flare of coaching, and it's our community as coaches. And it doesn't matter if they're just getting started on their journey or they're waiting for their program to arrive next week. I'm going to invite all those people to tune in and hear the heart of who we are as a community and why I love what I do so much. And then I'm going to literally let them know you're going to be successful. And maybe they're already successful. So think of, okay, who of your clients are loving it? Right? The same exact thing we did last week. Who's loving it? Who's seeing results? Who's like active in the client support pages? Who's sharing it maybe even out loud on their Facebook? Who's talking to their friends about this? Those people you definitely want to invite, and you want to be bold with the invite. Make it personal. Make it about them. Make it about what you see in them, the potential you see in them, and let them know you've shared with me that your Aunt Susan has been cheering you on and that she's interested or excited. Let's dive and come to this call and listen a little about what it's going to look like for us to help her together. Plus, you're going to love it. You're going to learn some. You're going to hear some stories. So all the people who are having success, all your current clients that maybe just need a little fire underneath them. Maybe they just need a little extra direction. Maybe they just need a little extra inspiration. Maybe they just need to see a little bigger picture and have more community surrounding them to be more successful. Maybe, like I said, friends and family who aren't clients yet, but they're watching you and you just want them to see why you love it so much. So that's who, and keep a list. Now, making it personal, send out messages, but you know what, you guys, as you're talking to them, so many of you do client support on Mondays. This is an amazing opportunity to start talking about it and invite them when you're doing your client check-in on Monday or Tuesday, whenever you do it. But I would definitely scoot your client support up this week so that you have a touch point and a reason to edify and invite them to join this call. And then, so I do private messages, I do voice texts, I do a lot of phone calls. I hop on a video chat with people who are like right there on I know they're on deck for coaching. They've got people noticing. Those people I'm really making sure get a personal invitation. And it's important for them to know why. Why would they show up for this? Why would they tune in? Yes, it's a community event. Yes, it's going to give them inspiration, right? It's also going to give them some insight into what it's going to look like for them to help their friends and family. And they get to get a sneak peek into our culture. So again, share with them why they would want to and why you would love for them to hop onto the call. So invite them, and then definitely follow up with them. And that's the thing I'm just going to leave you guys with, because we're going to do massive invites over the next couple of days. Remind them when the call is, make sure they've got the link. And then as soon as the call is over, message them, follow up with them. Oh my gosh, what resonated the most with you? I cannot wait to hear. Do you have time tonight or tomorrow to hop on and chat about it? That's the key, you guys. The invite and then the follow up. All right, Brad, I'm going to kick it back over to you to kind of wrap us up since we're 1 minute over. Oh, Brad, you're muted.
So much for rapid firing and finishing. All right. So we're going to finish up real quick, guys. Congratulations. Again, you've done the work. You've grown. We've grown personally. We've conquered a lot this season, and we've set this tone, and we've been consistent. Anything that happens in magic from life is from consistency. So remember, like, I want you guys to think about this board here and what you're building for May. You've planted the seeds. What are you going to harvest this month, and what's coming from what you continue to harvest? I've loved all the people saying like, oh my gosh, it's working, because you guys are being consistent. Little shout out to that month in July. That's when we have National Convention. We're going to do a post after next week that's going to help people submit what they won in their health this season, and we're going to give away 2 registrations for most weight loss percentage and overall transformation. But I want to ask all of you guys today, if you're truly interested in changing lives, do not miss National Convention. Make sure you're registered. Connect with your support team. Say, like, if, I know most of you guys are already going. Actually, drop me a 10 in the chat if you're already going, like, to convention, because there's just a few people that are like, I'm him and Han. I remember being there too. Do everything you can to get to convention. Like, knowing the heart of what it is we do. If you want to really see that explosion in August, it comes from being at convention, planting your seeds in there. It's kind of something you just don't understand until you've gone there. So anyways, the chat's blowing up. There's a lot of people. Can't wait to party with you all. All right. Recap here today, you guys. How to take your May to build momentum. Keep taking your health to the next level. Again, part of the benefits of becoming a coach is we keep getting to refocus on us and push ourselves forward. New visions, new goals. Back to what Shirley said, make the decision. Start the month strong. Start with your map. Connect with your support team. Share with them what you desire to accomplish this month. Get insight like Mallory was talking about. Start your month like you finished the month. Invite to the Rewards of Coaching Call Tuesday. We have 3 days, $25 match, and we have a new coach training next weekend to help all of those new coaches launch into action just like you all have. We ain't going to stop this momentum of lives change that we're doing. Start your new Coach Strong live Wednesday. So if any of you guys are feeling like, oh, I need some help in this area, we're going to do a live Wednesday in this page that's going to say, hey, this is some things you can do that are really helpful. But if you're new to this, you're also going to do it with your support team. We don't do anything by ourselves. So besides that, stay tuned into this page. This wraps up the series, but we'll have some additional things in this page until we do our next training, probably in the next 6 weeks, couple months. I don't know. You guys vote. If you guys want another training, actually drop me let's go back to 1. Drop me a 1 in the chat if you guys want another training series soon. All right, that's a lot of 1s. All right, okay. I think we like it. I think we like being together. It's the desire to grow together and accomplish more that really makes this the magic. So I appreciate you all. Stay consistent. That's the magic. And again, for the time being, Monday night health coach trainings, 30 minutes at 5:30 after the leadership call. That's your go-to for training over the next little bit. Congratulations, guys. Have a great month. Go get it. Like Susan said, make the decision of what you want to accomplish. Have a great day, everybody.